What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about one of the greatest games nobody talks about, and it's Wolfenstein: The New Order. Wolfenstein: The New Order is a reboot of the original Wolfenstein series, which I'm not covering, but it's a game that holds tons of significance because of the groundwork it laid down for Doom 2016. The game is nothing like what we have today, and is honestly a really sad game that makes you lose hope in the universe you're fighting in. Obviously, because I'm talking about the story and the whole game in general, there will be spoilers ahead, so if you haven't picked up this masterpiece, or just don't care, you have been warned. Anyways, without further ado, let's check out why Wolfenstein: The New Order is a hidden masterpiece. Before this game actually begins, we need to do a quick history lesson. The year is 1946 and we're in the middle of fighting World War II. Because this game takes place in the Doom universe, we have technology far beyond what is considered normal. However, the Nazis have far better technology than we do, so we're fighting a losing war, and this takes us to the first mission of the game where we play as our main character, William Joseph Blazkowicz. Now, this man is a living, walking, breathing tank, but we'll get to that in a second. For now, all we know is that Blazkowicz is a soldier in the war, and their main target is a man called Death's Head, who commands the Nazis in the war effort. After a few close calls with Deaths, we jump to another plane and see the soldiers on the plane, and this right here is why this is a good game. When you jump into the plane, you see all these soldiers, but none of them are happy or excited. They're sad and hopeless because they're forced to fight a losing war. There's nothing happy about this scene, and it's also where we meet one of my favorite characters, Wyatt. When we first meet him, he's in shock from watching his pilots die, so we slap some sense in him and continue with our mission. We crash to a beach and have to hide from some messed up looking dogs and shoot them with a plane turret. After we shoot them, we are equipped with a pea shooter, so once we kill our first Nazis, we get proper weapons. Remember that part where I said they have more advanced technology than us? Weapons fall under that bracket because holy, look at that weapon. It looks so much nicer than the thing we previously had. Anyways, after getting some better weapons, we regroup with our friend Fergus, who is the pilot in our plane, and we start to climb to Death's Head compound. Once we're inside, you can feel the dread of the place, and it gets worse the more you explore. After doing some killing, we fall into a room, showing us victims of science experiments, someone who did this on purpose. And after getting trapped in a room, we come face to face with Death's Head himself. This single scene handily changes how you look at Death's Head. We must choose who to kill, and while I always choose Wyatt to save, I had to choose Fergus on this playthrough because I never chose him, and hearing his cries were heartbreaking.
You will save me, won't you, sir? I know you can do it. Sir!
General Death's Head. Today he's teaching me a lesson. I've seen suffering and death. People maimed and tortured. Thought I'd seen it all. But I'd never seen true cruelty. Until now. Count to 4. Inhale. Count to 4. Exhale.
After this, we break out of the place, but not before getting hit in the head, and this was only the intro level for Wolfenstein. Our next mission of significance is next level where we're in an insane asylum and we are being taken care of before the place gets overrun with Nazis. Blazkowicz somehow after 14 years can stamp just fine and stab a soldier like nothing ever happened, but once we actually start playing, that's when all the problems start, as we keep having flashbacks from when we were a vegetable, and we also have problems moving and having vision problems. After some more fighting, we save the nurse who helped us, her name being Anya. She drives us to our grandparents' farm when we interrogate a Nazi commander to help us find resistance fighters since, we lost the war. And we head off to Berlin to a place called Eisenwald Prison. Once we get to Berlin, we get a view of Berlin, as this really sets the mood for Wolfenstein. Sad and hopeless. This shot shows us everything built off concrete, and nothing has life or personality to it, and it's what makes the game stand out. The game knows what it wants to be and sticks to it. This game isn't meant to make you laugh or smile or have jokes. It's a serious game that understands we're not supposed to enjoy being here. We're supposed to not want to live here or envy those who do. And Wolfenstein perfectly portrays that. Once we're done looking at the concrete hell we're in, we break into the Eisenwald prison to free resistance fighters, and one of those fighters is none other than Fergus himself, our pilot from the war. Once we break out, we make our way to the resistance base and begin to set our sights on getting better technology to fight Nazis. One of those technologies is getting a secret helicopter, so we get one, and along our way of obtaining one, we find a document in the secret laboratory where the planes were, known as Dachhüchen. And one of those people is still alive, so we gotta go rescue him in a concentration camp. In this camp, we see a character who is important to this whole ordeal, her name being Frau Engel. She commands the labor camp that we're in here to save, so we go undercover in the camp and begin to try to find him. We find him, his name being Set Roth, and he wants to break everyone out of the labor camp. So we get him some items, but not before we are caught and tortured, and barely surviving, we make it out. After getting him some items, we attempt to get one more item before getting captured once again, but in the coolest moments, Set pulls out a controller and begins to break us out. This scene has one of the best soundtracks in the level and goes so well with this section. After getting set out, we both set our sights on getting more technology, so we have to get special submarine called a U-boat. Once acquiring this U-boat, we go underwater to go into a secret stash of technology and get a space ball to help us out, and we also obtain a suit of power armor. After getting said space ball, we go to a bridge and we have to get a commander's identity so that we can get nuclear launch codes from the moon. Yes, you heard me, the moon. So after some combat, we get his identity and go to the moon. After some moonwalking and more killing, we get the codes we need to launch nukes from our newly acquired U-boat. This obviously pisses off the Nazis we've been doing this to, so they shoot our spacecraft down as we try to return to Earth, and we must fight them in London. After some more Nazi killing, we have to fight a giant robot that taunts us, but for Blazkowicz, this ain't a problem, and we take it out easily. After taking it out, we get word that our base is under attack and that Frau Engel, the chick that we forgot to kill at the labor camp, is leading the raid. We get over there in a cool scene that shows us killing some Nazi guards, but not before our friend gets shot to death.
I'm sorry, Anya. I wish you could have seen Mesquite at dawn. I wanted to take you there.
And it looks like the end for BJ before another one of our friends, Max House, kills guards to save us. Once we clear out the base, we need to save the people who got captured, one of those people being Anya. So we gear up and return to where it all began, Castle Wolfenstein. This mission stands out to me as one of the greatest levels ever because of so many factors: the music, enemies, and the build up to this moment. After launching that space ball again, we get into Death's Head compound, taunting us as we walk through the halls, all while the single greatest soundtrack in the game is playing in the background.
I have willed into existence a new age, an age of reason, of purity, of strength. Your legacy is nothing but a calm impulse of anger.
After much fighting, while the best soundtrack plays, we run into Frau Engel's boyfriend who pumps us full of an insane tranquilizer, but as usual, BJ being a walking tank, gets up and just stabs him like nothing happened. We run into Anya and Set just as they're breaking out, and we collapse for a brief moment before getting to an elevator, but not before it malfunctions and we get shot up in the air straight to Death's Head. Here we see a gruesome cutscene of Wyatt suffering before he shows us that his brain is in a jar and proceeds to make us fight him as a robot. Keep in mind, Wyatt is fully conscious but has no control of his actions, so once we get to him, he says he's sorry and that he wants to be put out of his misery, so we put him out.
Wyatt, you in there?
Captain, I tried. So sorry I shot at you. I have no control over my actions. Cannot live like this. You have to put an end to it.
Private, it was an honor to serve by your side.
After this, we fight Death's Head himself, taking out the Zeppelins, helping him, and sending him into his own compound. After some more fighting, we finally get him down, and we get hands down the coolest quote ever.
I would never need it to you.
Fine. I will gut you standing.
After this, BJ crawls before giving the confirmation to blow up Castle Wolfenstein.
Blazko, do you read? Am I clear to fire?
You're clear.
The entire point of Wolfenstein was to explore the what-if scenario. What if the Nazis won World War II? Life as we know it would not exist like it does now. The world of Wolfenstein feels sad, hopeless, and pointless. The game is able to keep the feelings of hopelessness and dread for the entirety of the game, and I'm impressed it was able to do that. The game repeatedly kicks you down and your team, making you lose hope. Time and time again, you're approached with the same question: was this all for nothing? The atmosphere is oppressive, making you doubt if you'll ever succeed in your mission, as I believe this is what makes the New Order stand out from the rest of the games. The fact that it can hold this concept and not stray is hard to do, and this game does that perfectly.
Blue-eyed, jarhead patriot that you are. You're the only other guitar man I know, man.
I'm on the move. I need to find Wyatt and Caroline. Wish you'd come with me.
Kind of on the spot, you know. Pretty well cornered by the man, actually. I appreciate the offer and all, but you know I've been on the run my whole life. So sick of the silence. I figure when I'm gone, I'll be silent, you know, till the end of time. But this moment, right now, it's gonna be loud.
I want to dedicate this section of the video to the music because Mick Gordon did an awesome job with composing the soundtrack. Some of the best music for this game is the title screen itself, having a heavy tone and a feeling of loneliness in the song before turning somber. And during the second to last mission in the game, a remix of the main theme plays, and it's one of the greatest remixes ever. The build up from confronting Death's Head once and for all gives that track that much more power. The rest of the soundtrack is amazing, and like I mentioned, it was composed by Mick Gordon, so that he has his signature tone in there in all of his songs, and especially in this soundtrack. I feel like he did a good job, hell, even a great job on this soundtrack, making the music sync with the game. My only complaint is that mixing in this game sucks, and you can barely hear the music in some points, but it is there, and it is worth giving it a listen. Wolfenstein was the groundwork for Doom 2016, and without Wolfenstein: The New Order, I doubt Doom would be as successful as it is today. Had it not been for Wolfenstein, the game has always been outshined by Doom or other id Software's IPs, but the significance of this game was massively important for future titles, and I never see enough people talk about this game though. Only recently have people started talking about this game more and more, but even then this series deserves better, and sadly the quality has started diminishing the longer the series goes, and personally I think the series should have ended at The New Order, but with Wolfenstein 3 not completely being out of the picture, I have a little hope that this series can be saved. But enough about that. I hope this video did justice for The New Order, and I hope that you can appreciate The New Order just a little bit more. Thank you to everyone for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.